Okay, I remembered what the other thing was while I was rambling on about valve springs and guides and all that. On these oil tanks, your return used to be on the back of the tank here. It'd come up and it was right on the back side. Feed into the back of the tank right about this area right here. And they changed it to this system where they got the line coming up where the drain goes in. The return goes to basically a Y connector and the drain's on one side. And then you got a pipe coming up here, which is right here, which feeds into this hole. And then there's a pipe welded up into the end of the tank. Actually, there's two pipes running in there. There's one for the vent for the gear case, and then that pipe, it's just a tube, runs up and it goes over here somewhere. I don't know how far it goes. I know it doesn't go all the way over here. I think it just goes straight up and down. Get out of here. Anyway, your feed line is right down here on the back. So if you're taking hot oil and it's dumping right on here, it's dumping right on top of the oil that's going to the tank. So it's never really getting a chance to cool off. Very slightly. What we found in the past was that the furthest away you can put the return oil, and verified this basically checking temperature in the oil tank of the oil, and with the temperature oil temp gauge, that if you can feed your return oil to the far side of the tank, it drops the oil temperature, not a lot, but it does drop it, 10, 20 degrees maybe on a totally different bike, like soft tail with a horseshoe tank. It's even worse because, it's direct. The return line is directly over top of the feed. What we used to do on those is on the left side of the tank, where it run around the frame over there, I would pull the oil tank off, drill a hole in the extreme left side of the tank, and put a fitting in there. Put a little 90-degree fitting. It just barely cleared the primary, but it did clear. And run your return all the way to the other side of the tank, and that did drop at a good 20-degree oil temperature. So if I was designing a tank, if I was to rebuild this tank or build my own tank, I would put baffles in there, oil baffles. So the oil, like they did on Big Twin with the oil tank that's under the transmission. It's got a plastic baffle in there that goes the whole length of the oil tank or oil pan. So the oil has to run through these little troughs to get back up to the front. And that's there for cooling and foaming, I guess, too, but mostly cooling. So if I was going to redo this oil tank, or build an oil tank, I wouldn't redo this one. I'd build one out of aluminum, dissipate heat a little quicker and be a little bit lighter. I'd put baffles in the inside of the tank, just baffle. Probably make it out of plastic find somebody with one of them 3D printers and build a baffle out of that and just drop it in there. Or you can make it out of aluminum plate or whatever. Probably plastic would probably be better because it's lighter. And it doesn't have a chance to break apart or anything. Just to keep the oil moving through the tank slow. Give it a chance to cool off. So an old tank for these is probably better than this newer system where the lines run up. The drain oil's on one side. But that's the thought on that. It's just, again, it's raining again. and getting ready to go in the house and cut up some sweet potatoes and apples and raisins and bake them in the oven with a little brown sugar and cinnamon. Everybody seems to like that. And the truth is, I'm kind of putting it off because I'd rather do this stuff here. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's just a thought on that stuff. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. I appreciate anybody watching, I really do. This is pretty dry stuff to me. You know, I've been doing it a long time, and it's, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear this stuff, or they want to argue about it. Well, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that, and that's great, whatever somebody says. So, you know, you're watching YouTube videos on YouTube, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Just don't believe because I said it that that's what it is. You know, get a consensus. But always look at, you know, well, if 100 people say this, they must all be right, right? No, that's not how that works. I'm going to go off on a tangent here. You know, when you're looking up information on the internet, don't just go by the first 2 or 3 things that pop up on the screen. That's just an algorithm where more people have looked at that. That's the most popular thing. You know, go down to page 2 or 3 and read some of that stuff. You know, don't just pick out the first thing you see on the internet and go, yeah, that's true. That's not true. That's the most popular. That's just because clickbait. Somebody looked at it and thought, yeah, man, that must be cool because it's the first thing that's on there. Okay, I'm really just ranting now. So, anyway, you know, just trying to give you ideas about stuff to think about. Stuff that I've done that some of it's worked, some of it hadn't. If it hadn't worked, I'm going to tell you it didn't work. You know, I ran a vacuum system into a collector, like old school racing to create vacuum in the crankcase. And you know, you put your little vacuum collector thing in the collector pipe at a 45-degree angle, so when the exhaust runs through it, it creates a vacuum. Hook it up to a breather with a baffle. And, you know, didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. It just didn't work. It was something to do with, I must not have had it routed right. I probably should have routed it into a catch can with a big air oil separator in it. And it might have worked then, it might not have worked the way I had it set up. It just didn't work. It was sucking oil out the damn collector. It was smoking like crazy. So it didn't work. Good idea, but probably wrong execution. And you know what? That's it for this one. You guys take care. Have a great day. Have a great week. Spring is here. It's raining like crazy and it's cold out again. It's supposed to be in the 40s at night here. Next couple of days. But it is getting warmer in the days, except for today. It's not warm out today, but anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.